back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and I post 2 videos a week on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 7 AM. So if you love a recipe video like this one and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm going to share with you how to make my delicious strawberry pudding cake. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a delicious strawberry pudding cake. Strawberries are in season again in the Western Hemisphere at least, and we love strawberries in this house, and I really only like to buy them in the summer season, and I really like to buy British strawberries as well. I think they just taste that little bit better. It might just be me, but I do think they have a better taste when they're British and they're homegrown as well. As I said, I'm going to be making a strawberry pudding cake. Now, pudding in the UK is normally eaten during winter time, but this is a light, refreshing pudding. The strawberries are delicious in this. I'm going to mix them all into the cake and make a beautiful dessert for summertime. And of course, while I was making it, I thought I'd share the recipe with you. So here is how to make my delicious strawberry pudding cake. Firstly, I'm going to preheat my oven to 200 degrees. While my oven is preheating, I'm going to make the cake batter for this dish. So in this bowl here, I have about 100 grams of unsalted butter. If you can't tolerate butter, then you can always use coconut oil or a butter alternative. And I'm also going to be using about 50 grams of coconut sugar. Again, you can always use brown sugar if you want to for this recipe. And the reason I'm using so little sugar is because I have some strawberries that I'm going to put in as well. And these are British strawberries, so they are lovely and sweet and juicy. So they will naturally sweeten the cake as it is. And then I'm going to add those together, and I'm going to mix those with my whisk now. Sorry. I've creamed the butter and the sugar together like so, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my egg. I'm going to whisk the eggs in as well. I'm just going to do I'm going to do 2 eggs for this. These are 2 large eggs. So if you're using small or medium, maybe use 3. And as I said, I'm just going to whisk these into the creamed butter and sugar. Added in the egg to the creamed butter and sugar, and now what I'm going to do is I am going to add in my almond flour. Now I would use almond flour because ground almonds won't be as good. They won't glue together as much, if you see what I mean. Almond flour is a lot finer, so it's a lot more like flour, so it will help the cake to glue together. So I'm just going to mix these ingredients together now, and I'm also going to add in 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and this is just to help the cake to rise. And then I'm also going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder as well. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and then I've also got some ground sweet cinnamon as well, and this is just to add a little bit of extra natural sweetness as well, so without the sugar, if you see what I mean. And then I'm just going to mix these ingredients together now, and I may add a little bit of milk to this to make it a little bit more like a cake mix. So I'm just going to go get some milk. So I'm going to add about 50 ml of milk, but I'm just going to add it bit by bit just to see how it looks. Just to make sure I don't make it too wet. Too wet wouldn't be good, but too stiff wouldn't be good either. So you really want somewhere in between. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And then I think that's enough. You just basically want it to look like a cake mix, like cake batter. So just add a little bit more. And then finally, I'm going to add in my strawberries. And I've got about 2 small handfuls here. I would say don't add any more than that, because again, the cake can become quite wet. So if you want a drier cake, then just add a few strawberries in. So I'm just going to mix the strawberries in as well. because the strawberries still have their juice in them, it also moistens the cake as well. So I'm just going to mix these round together, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lid on my bowl, and I'm going to put this into the fridge for about half an hour or so, just to help it to glue together. As this cake has no gluten in it, so it's got no flour in it, it's a bit harder for it to glue together, but I find if you put it in the fridge, it tends to glue together a lot better. So I'm off to put this in the fridge for about 30 minutes now. While the cake mixture is resting in the fridge, I'm going to be preparing the dish. I'm going to cook the pudding cake in, and I'm using a Pyrex dish, but you don't have to use a Pyrex dish. You could use a cake tin and line it with greaseproof paper and grease the greaseproof paper as well. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to spread a little bit of coconut oil around the base of the Pyrex dish and up the sides as well, until it's as evenly coated as possible. And then I'm going to go to the fridge and get my batter, and I'm going to put it into this dish. I just went and got the cake batter from the fridge, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the cake batter, or put the cake batter into the base of the dish, and I'm going to spread it as evenly as I can around the base, making sure that there are strawberries dotted all over the place as well. And with the oil, you don't have to use coconut oil, you can use an oil of your choice. The reason I'm using coconut oil is because it's slightly sweet, so it will help the cake to be sweet as well. So I'm just moving the cake around the base like so. And then I'm going to pop this into the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, and I'm going to see how it is after that. It might need 5 minutes extra, it may not. It depends on your oven and how hot it gets. Ours does get quite hot, so it probably will only need about 20 minutes. But that's the cake, and I'm going to pop this into the oven now. So the strawberry cake has finished cooking, and it's cooked. When I put the skewer in, it's coming out clean, so that means it's cooked. So I'm going to take this out of the oven now and leave it to cool. I've left the cake to cool completely, and now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to slice it. So I'm going to cut it into quarters and then into eighths. And I'm just going to take a piece of the cake, and I'm just going to show you what the inside looks like. It's slightly wet due to the strawberries, but it does look delicious, I have to say. And I'm going to be serving this evening with some coconut cream and some maple syrup. So yeah, looking forward to this. That's how you make my delicious strawberry pudding cake, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our dessert this evening, and it smells so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.